Hey guys, it's your girl Marielle. Welcome back to Friday Night Lights movie review. Before we get started, I would just like you to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Marielle Waters' name will be changing pretty soon, but in the description bar below, I will connect my other accounts, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, where you can catch me doing TV show midweek reviews. Hit the notification bell so you'll always know when a new video pops up. And please share this video with your friends, with your family. I would appreciate it. So, with that being said, we're going to be reviewing and giving reactions to The United States versus Billie Holiday, which is now streaming on Hulu. So we're going to break this up in a couple of categories. The first category we're going to talk about is the casting. So let's start with that. It was Billie Holiday being played by Andrade, I'm sorry if I'm messing up her name, Trevante Rhodes, who plays Jimmy Fletcher, who is a FBI agent, Garrett Hedlund, who plays the commissioner of the FBI, Harry Aslinger, and a couple of, there's Miss Lawrence, who plays Miss Freddie, her Billie Holiday's friend, and Divine Joy Rudolph, who also plays another friend of Billie Holiday. So let's talk about the performances now that we got the cast out of the way. I thought that the performance of everyone who participated was solid. Andrade takes the cake out of everybody. I mean, her mannerisms of Billie Holiday were amazing. The voice, and she wasn't dubbed over. I believe she did sing each and every one of those tracks. Her voice, the way she talked, that scratchy, how it goes from, you know, when you can tell where she was heavy on drugs and not. But we'll get into that a little later. Trevante Rhodes, he did amazing. I mean, he's a great actor. We know him from Moonlight and from a couple of other projects he's done. As far as Garrett Hedlund, who plays Commissioner Harry Aslinger, not to discredit who he is, because I believe he's a great actor. He's played in Tron and Four Brothers. He played the younger brother who dies. He didn't have a lot to say. He didn't really, the performance wasn't really there because he didn't have that many lines. You just knew he was the dick of the movie. You know what I mean? I guess that is good because you felt that. You felt like he was an asshole. You know what I mean? And as far as Miss Freddie, who was played by Miss Lawrence, I don't know the last name, and Rosalind, who was played by Divine Joy Rudolph, they gave solid performances too. They played their role exactly the way their role should have been played. I give them kudos for casting. The casting was great, I believe. Let's talk about the forerunners. The screenplay was written by Susan Lynn Parker and produced by Lee Daniels, and we all know who Lee Daniels is. So I think they did a pretty good job of the way the movie moved, the way the scenes move, the accurate depiction of that time as far as costumes and hair and language and just the overall aesthetics of the movie, I believe was good. The downside of that, I would say, it just wasn't enough for me. Once you guys watch it, please comment in the comment section below. Let's talk about this. Tell me what you like, what you didn't like. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? You know what I mean? So the story goes like this. She's being interviewed about why she is the way she is, who is Billie Holiday, and the whole controversy around Strange Fruit. Let's talk about that just for a second. Strange Fruit was actually a poem. I did not know this until I did further research myself. It was a poem written by, believe it or not, a Jewish school teacher. And people got a hold of it. Billie Holiday read it. She sang it. She said it reminded her of her father, who was not helped. He had a lung issue and he wasn't helped, and he was just left to die. So Strange Fruit really spoke to her. That's why it meant so much to her to sing this song. She said every time she sang it, it made her think of her father. and not in a good light, you know, but I wish that was something else they would have put in the movie, you know, like they just made it seem like she wrote this song because of just the injustices that were happening in America at that time. And that wasn't the case. And I think those little tidbits, those little intricacies, those were the things that was left out of this movie. They don't start from the beginning of her life. They start about 10 to 15 years down the road. She's already established. She's already married. We already see that she has her addiction to heroin. One thing that they made very prominent in this movie, that if they were going to do it this way, they should have brought the other side of the coin. And what I mean by that is she was married to a couple of different men and had tumultuous relationships with these men. They used her for money, they used her for the drugs, and they just used her for the sex. She was just an able body to them. She was this beautiful human being that had so much darkness inside of her. And the movie portrayed that well by the men that she chose. And I don't personally think that was the best way to do it, because she was more than just someone laying up with some dude. You know, they made it seem like she kept these men in her life because she personally couldn't get the drugs. They got it for her. And I didn't like it like that. But that's just my opinion. Also, the relationship with Jimmy Fletcher and Billie Holiday does grow over time, over years. They don't really tell you the span of years that their relationship grows, you know. But a lot of their interaction was drugs, was just straight effing, wasn't anything soft. Nothing soft happened in this movie, not until an hour and some change. And what I mean by that, the only softness that we saw was the love she had for her dogs. There's a funeral scene where Jimmy Fletcher goes. He thought that she lost a father or a loved one, which she did. She lost her dog. That was one little snippet of softness. Then the next scene was when you see the positive side of Jimmy Fletcher and Billie Holiday's relationship, where it was just very minuscule, very minuscule. And I think that they could have expanded on that. You know, a lot of this movie was gritty, and I don't know if that's what the plan was, but it just made it seem like Billie Holiday was just a junkie and just someone that laid down with men and got ran through and got beaten on. And I think they could have played more into who she was. Now let's talk about the good parts, the good transitions. I believe in this movie, the way the scenes move from one scene to the next, I thought was done good. Especially they started off in black and white, like a still picture, like if these were actual shots from that time. And then it transitioned to color when the dialogue started. I thought that was something very well executed, very well done in this film. Another scene that I thought was super powerful, it was about time that they just showed Billie Holiday, like the meat of who she was. Now, the scene is developed because Jimmy Fletcher, to show that he wasn't there just to be a rat, he got high with everybody, with the band, with Billie Holiday. And the scene that they put in there that you'll see later on in the review, she pulls, this is the best way I can describe it, she pulls Jimmy Fletcher into her darkness with her. This is where we get to see her as a little girl with her mother, and then it transitions, she's a little older, her mother's in a brothel and her mother is a prostitute. And now we can kind of get the reason why she lives and she breathes her addiction. In this scene that was so powerfully done, he gets to see who she is. He gets to see why she's an addict. He gets to see why she fights and pushes against the grain, like there's no real love for her because that's just not who she is. You see her and then you hear the tortured sounds of a little girl crying because you know that she was being sexually assaulted. You know that was the life that she was pushed into. That was the best part of the movie, and that was like an hour and 20 minutes into the movie. Let's talk about the overall how I see this movie. I believe that Andra Day deserved her Golden Globe that she was nominated for and that she won. She was the meat of this movie because a lot of things fell short. We got to know some people, but we didn't know how she knew them, how long they were friends, what they've done for each other, what they didn't do for each other. They played a lot of the movie with her having sex with disgusting bum ass men, period. And then we know the struggle behind Strange Fruit. Everybody thought it was the lyrics, and it truly was the lyrics of of the song. The FBI wanted her not because it was because she was singing it and what the words were. They were scared that it would unify black people and it would unify other people behind black people. They only touched on that one time when she was doing an interview, when she said they want to destroy me because Strange Fruit makes y'all feel the guilt, and the y'all is the white people. They could have expanded on that as well. Also, the FBI was coming at her because they made it seem like because she's a strong black woman. She was not strong. She was very weak. And I think she probably may have some strong parts in her life, but they didn't touch on that. So overall in the movie, out of 5 stars, I would give it a 3.5 only because of the costumes, the music, the transitions, and that one powerful scene that I told you guys about, where she pulls Jimmy Fletcher, Trevante Rhodes' character, into her past, into her darkness, because the whole scene was dark. And then when she was coming out of it, that's when you see the light. And even then in the light, it broke her down. I think that was the most amazing part of the film. I wish it was more scenes like that in the movie. I think they paid too much attention on her naked body, too much attention to how many men ran through her, and didn't touch on the soft sides. Because even though people fall into destruction, everybody's life ain't all destruction. And I think that they could have done a better job with that, with portraying Billie Holiday. The music was great. I really do believe that Andra Day and Trevante Rhodes' characters were the best part of this film. Again, I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. And please, guys, tell me what you think in the comments once you watch it. Let's talk about it. I thank you for staying with me, watching Friday Night Movie Lights review. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please follow me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. And I will see you guys next week, where we talk about Coming to America 2. Did it live up to the hype? So I will see you guys next week. Bye, guys.